Hello you guys! Right now I'm sitting in front of what used to be my set for Vie En Rose, and I figured since I just posted that last week I'd talk a little bit about it. Because originally I wanted to do a bit of a behind the scenes look, but the footage I had taken behind the scenes had turned out to be a little bit too much. Too much stuff. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands here. So I figured I would just comment a little bit on my experience. And yeah, so I'm thinking about making this a regular thing, was whenever I make a project, I want to make a follow-up video afterward. And I kind of want it to be a series, so I'm going to call it Reali-TEA, because I brought sweet tea, because it's hot today. Anyway, it was my first time making a 3D stop-motion animation, which was kind of cool. And it was 3D, you know, not in the sense that it was like with computer graphics or you know, I didn't have you guys wear like 3D goggles or anything. No. Sorry, no, it was 3D in the sense that I was using animate objects, like actual animate objects. Sorry if the sound sounds a little weird. I'm sitting in front of my fan because it's hot. It is hot today, so yeah. With that being said, I want to introduce you guys to the dolls personally. Alright, so this doll's name is Tristan, and I named him Tristan mainly because I've recently been watching a lot of Stardust, and, well, Stardust is a movie. It's not like there's a show and there's a lot to watch. It's just one movie, so, yeah. Anyway, I rewatched Stardust, and the main character in it is named Tristan, and he's like this cutesy little boy who works in a shop who has like really luscious hair and is all about, you know, he really loves the idea of love. And I was like, well, that seems really fitting because this is supposed to be a romantic film. So I was like, let's name him Tristan, right? Sticking to the idea of naming my dolls after favorite characters, I wanted to name her Penelope, but I decided Penelope didn't really fit her. She's kind of, see, I was going to say ladylike, but then I pulled down her skirt right now. My bad. Sorry, guys. I just went ahead and I'm just going to call her Penny. One of the things I realized while I was shooting was that their couple name is actually Pinterest. Whatever. And it's fitting, right? I mean, they're like homemade dolls, and Pinterest really helps you make a lot of DIY stuff, so it's kind of fitting, right? No? Anyway, with that being said, I decided I would talk a little bit about how I made them and stuff. So, well, alright. These little guys are 100% recycled material, which is kind of interesting to say. Like, all their clothes are made out of stuff I had before. I have this bag of, like, shirts and pants that I no longer wear, so I just kind of keep them in a bag, and I use them for, like, later materials. So his pants are actually a pair of my jeans. They're part of a pair of my jeans. Yeah. And his shirt's made out of a pillowcase that I use to make my cloud lamp. Yeah, when I cut open the pillow. It ended up being cheaper to get the cotton out of the pillow than it was to just buy a bunch of cotton. So I ended up buying 3 pillows, which ended up being like $6 instead of paying $15 for the same amount of cotton. So, yes, we're being thrifty here. I'm going to teach you guys how to be thrifty. No, I'm not. So yeah, the dolls were completely made out of material I already had. Like wire. I had a lot of wire left over from my last semester at college, where I had to make this sculpture. It was a weird sculpture, but I had a lot of wire left over because of it, and so he's made out of wire and tape on the inside. And then after that, I coated them with it's clay. It was a clay I ended up finding on Pinterest. The clay was supposed to dry like porcelain, and it did. The problem is, the reason they look so shiny is because I painted them with acrylic paint, and I probably should have mixed dye into the clay and then just had that set and then paint on their features, but it's okay. They look really cool still, and I'm happy. The thing is, with acrylic paint, it leaves like this shiny residue, so yeah, he looks a little glossy, right? Anyway, it's okay. This shoot it took me like 2 months to make the film. It's not a film, it's a short film. It's not even a short film, it's a music video. What am I talking about? Most of that time was spent actually just making the dolls themselves, because I had to, you know, make their bodies, and I had to wait for the clay to dry, then I had to paint them and wait for the paint to dry, and then I had to make all their little clothes and put all their hair on. And their hair is yarn. It's all individual pieces of yarn. Like, I didn't just grab the yarn and put it on. I undid the yarn. Because, if you ever notice, yarn kind of looks like it's braided. It's actually twisted. Whatever. I untwisted it and used, like, the single pieces to make their hair. They're two different yarns, though. That's why Penny's here looks a little bit more shiny, fluffier, whereas Tristan's kind of looks like he has frizz. So, yeah. A couple of the struggles I had with making the dolls was, well, first off, they were incapable of standing on their own. So, I had to use skewers, and I had a thicker wire that I kind of tried to hide throughout the set. But I'm sure if you look through my video, like, more closely, you'll probably still see wire somewhere, or even string. I used fishing wire in one of the scenes just to get Tristan to stand. That was on the bookshelf. I don't know if you could see it, but maybe. I'm sure if you look, like, really closely. But, yeah, there's, like, little sticks and stuff, and they're sticking up, and he just couldn't stand on his own. And to try to, like, remake the dolls was going to cost me probably, I don't know, more money than I had. So trying to remake the dolls is kind of out of the question for me because I, first off, had run out of materials, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to make the dolls look exactly the same. So, and I liked their look, so I kind of just was like, okay, we'll deal with it. We'll figure out how to work from here. And that's when I started using the skewers and the wires just to get them set up. And the first scene I shot was actually Tristan going through the bookshelf to get to the desk, and this was flipped around. I had the bookshelf over there before. But after I shot that scene, I had reshot that scene like 5 times. After I finally got him to land, his head just came off. And I was debating just using that as like a funny thing where like his head rolls and Penny picks it up and like gives it back to me. But I was like, no, that's like not what I wanted my video to be. But maybe I'll do something like that later with them. Maybe I'll redo a video with them or something. Tristan, I couldn't move his head anymore after the first scene I shot because I tried to rewire, put some more wire in there, but I couldn't really do it without cracking his head, which was not going to be an option for me. So I just kind of hot glued it, and if I had to move his head later in the scene, I just kind of moved his whole body. And that's how I dealt with that. So it's cool. You're going to come along and find a lot of mistakes throughout my stuff. I went back and I went to rewatch my video on Life on Mars by David Bowie. When I did the cover animation for that song, I was watching it and I was like, okay, the first part's really clear, it's really fluid, but towards the end it gets really, really choppy. And that's something I'm proud of with this film. Not film, I keep calling them films. They're music videos, basically. With this one, it came out a lot more fluid, you know. There were still a couple of weird pauses throughout, but it was stuff that I couldn't fix, because to reshoot it, I would probably risk breaking my dolls more than they already broke. For example, the scene where Tristan helps Penny up, there's a jump where after he helps her up, they kind of end up resting on the box here, and it looks kind of awkward because it's like they're getting up and then like back into the treasure box, and it doesn't look right. You could tell something went. And it was something I couldn't fix, because after that scene, I realized that Tristan, his back was no longer bending correctly, and I felt that if I kept trying to work it and reshot the scene, it would just... So I was like, it's okay, it's something we're going to have to deal with. It's something I'll perfect later on. So, yeah. That was a bit of my trouble. Basically, I either need different wire or something more durable, because the wire I used, it was cheap, so, you know, you get what you pay for. So that's okay. It got me through the shoot, and it was really inexpensive because it was something I already had to buy beforehand. And so yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out. I think it looks okay for now. But I really am more proud of this work than any of my other works that I've done so far. Everything about it is just better than what I've done before. Because, first off, the audio just sounds a lot more clear than it did for any of my other videos, really. All the audio just kind of sounds fuzzy and like crap, and my ukulele doesn't sound good at all. And it wasn't the ukulele's fault. It was my laptop. I was using the microphone in my laptop, and the laptop's microphone, while it was usable, it doesn't really pick up a lot of sound. So I finally got the little audio converter. Sorry, I got the audio converter that I needed from a microphone that I had, and with that, everything just sounded a lot clearer. There's still a little bit of static, but I'm working with it, and I'm trying to figure out how to lower it. I've been looking up all these different videos, and I've tried what they've told me to do, and it's still not really working out. So I'll just keep fiddling with it. It might just be the microphone itself. It also was kind of cheap, but hey, I'm a college student. I'm on a budget, so really, with all that just said, I'm really proud of this work. I think it looks pretty okay for now, and really, I just want to keep doing more works like this, because my goal is to eventually be able to work up to making, a full-length film. But for now, I'm working on making something small, like little short things, and so maybe I'll work up to making a short film, and then from there, make the short film longer until eventually we make a feature-length film. So, for now, all these little music video covers are they're nice. They help me figure out what it is I'm doing wrong, and they help me get a lot of practice in. So I'm just going to keep doing that because, honestly, I like to do it. I think it's fun. It gives me ideas whenever I'm, listening to my music or something. I'm like, oh, this song would be so good. I could totally make characters for this and do something. And so, yeah, I think we'll keep working. I'm going to keep working on that. I'm working on a couple of things. 3 projects right now. But I don't want to say too much. I really want to say, but I know if I say it now, it's just going to be like, but she hasn't posted anything. And that's another thing, is this summer, I really wanted to I wanted to make a lot of videos and save them so that way during school I could post them and just kind of keep a regular schedule. But I realized it's okay that I didn't really get around to that because, well, obviously, one, this took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And really, if I do that, I'm not keeping an accurate timeline of how I'm progressing and how my work is progressing, so I figured it's okay. It's better to post after I finish something. Instead of, let's say, for example, I finished shooting something in August and I don't post it till November. Well, if I had waited to maybe make that thing, I would probably be as experienced as I would be in November when I'm posting it. Does that make sense? I would have more experience when I post it than I did when I made it, if I posted it when I made it. You get me? It's like I'm lying to you. I could have done something more. At that time, I'll look at it and I'll know. I probably could have made something better with this. I probably could have done so much more. So, yeah, I think I'll just post things as I finish making them. And so, my goal really isn't a video a week. It's going to be more like a video a month. Just something a month. And, I'm not going to probably stick to that. Some months you might get more. You might get 2 or 3 videos a month. Other months I might miss something, but that's probably because I'll probably be posting 2 or 3 videos the next month. So, it's okay. And, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say is, if you didn't stick around long enough on my last video, I finally made an outro. It's a little animated outro, and I had a lot of fun making that because I got to make a little ukulele jingle. There's no words, it's just ukulele, but it was fun. I got to make something. Me and music never worked really well, but I think it sounds cool, and you should check it out because I'm going to show it to you right now, actually. So, before I show you my outro, I just want to say thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for all the support. And I can't wait to see what you guys do. With that, I will bid you adieu, and I will show you my outro right now.